constructing solid and predator-proof structures, infrastructure, and shelters is one of the #1 ways to keep your flock safe. After that, electric fence, electric netting, and/or livestock guardian dogs are far superior to trapping. However, when you reach the point of need of trapping, you need to know what to do and how to handle the gear. That's what this class is about. There are times when trapping the odd animal that's just an ultimate pest and nuisance and is continuing to bother and harass your flock is where trapping comes into play. So remember, head for the easy fixes first. Better shelters, better fencing, livestock guardian dogs, and electric fencing first. And then we can look at trapping as one of the later options. Now let's look at some of the tools we need to successfully trap. One is a nice pair of leather gloves. This keeps you safe as you work with the traps and keeps your scent off the traps. We have live traps or have-a-heart traps. These are meant to catch the animal live and either release or dispatch in a separate location. We have foot or snap traps. These are to catch animal by the feet or paw and hold them until you can take care of them later. The animal is typically not going to recover from a snap trap, so again, the neighbor's pet or dog is not the place for these to be used. The next is what's called a coon cuff. This is one of my favorite traps. It's safe, you're not going to catch anybody's pets, and it only works on raccoons. So we'll show you how to use this one in just a minute, but this is called a coon cuff, and it works really well. The next is a conibear trap. This is a full body catch and dispatch trap. These go over anything that uses burrows or dens, like groundhogs or muskrats. These are very effective for those type of animals, and they have multiple different sizes to take care of the right size animal. So matching the right size conibear trap to the species you're trying to trap is important as well. Next is scent control. One of the easiest things you can do is use walnuts. Walnuts have very strong odor and at the same time cover your scent. They also are used to sanitize and sterilize your traps. More on that in another lesson. You need some type of stake or anchor to keep your traps from going away. Another reason these are important is to mark your traps. Even though you remember exactly where you set it out the night before, the next morning everything looks different for some reason. So knowing where your traps are is very important. A small hammer or mallet to secure your stakes into the ground. A wounded or angry animal is very strong. I have seen raccoons pull these stakes out of the ground, drag the traps away, and disappear into the woods. Really have to anchor your traps. The traps have to be secured and anchored in a really deep way. You would be surprised how much they can pull and you lose your trap, you lose the animal, and you're not sure if you actually got it. And you might even have a wounded animal somewhere, and that's not very humane either. A shovel for setting traps. We'll use that to set these leg traps in different hides and making burrows and things to attract the animals with the shovel. Typically some type of bait. The coon cuff uses marshmallows. Other types can just use dry cat food. Another one, of course, is bacon or bacon grease. And what won't come to bacon, right? Anything will get attracted to bacon and bacon fat. So tallow, a little bit of lard, or some bacon grease or some sausage grease that you have left over from this morning's breakfast pan works great for bait. Last is a small .22 rifle. This will be for dispatching any animal that the trap maybe didn't dispatch, or maybe an animal that is stuck inside one of your shelters or coops. Again, always follow all firearm safety. Treat every gun like it's loaded and get assistance in training if you're not experienced with firearms. The next tool is a conibear trap setting tool. This will assist us in setting the conibear trap, especially the large ones. This is a safety trick and incredibly necessary to set these stronger traps. This is the basics. There is a lot other traps. We're not talking about snares or even primitive traps, which are really fun that I played around with as a teenager. Deadfalls, snares, all sorts of fun primitive traps that you can use if in a survival situation. Again, those are fun to play with and an amazing opportunity to practice woodcraft and survival skills. That's not what we're playing around with today. Today, we're just using the basic traps to focus on that one predator that's bothering your flock. Remember that if you put up fencing or use a livestock guardian dog, rules and regulations don't apply. So if your livestock guardian dog kills something out of season, there's no prosecution and no problem. So again, The livestock guardian dog or the fencing is a better option than the traps. But we're here to show you what we can and get you started if you have a problem animal.